Lights, camera, action, I'm splashing. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss still, wheel and dip, limousine ride, jet flying, sun with up, and I'm having a hard time holding these Detroit Lions down. Woo!
Pussy.
What up, though, everybody? It's Mr. Lights, Camera, Action. I'm Splashing, the host, bringing you another episode of Upnsmoke, the podcast. This podcast is powered by the space station, so I don't have to tell you who's behind the camera, because you know it's the best. On this episode, we'll be talking about our weekly recap, Upnsmoke Players of the Week, your fantasy watchers, quick hits, latest news. But before we get started, I want to dive into this injury report, let you know what's going around in the league. Excuse me. Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns quarterbacks, out for season, suffered a torn Achilles there. Chris Godwin, receiver for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, out for season, torn ACL. Brandon Ayuk, receiver there for the Frisco Niners, suffered a torn ACL, out for season. DK Metcalf, Seahawks receiver, week to week with his knee. Jameson Williams, he's going to be serving a 2-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. And, you know, obviously that's a fucking hit to us anyway, because we're playing on a crutch anyway with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson. Andy Dalton, I found out today, was also involved in a car crash. I'll get with you as details further emerge. Week 7 recap. Thursday, we had Denver taking on the Saints in what I call the Sean Payton Bowl. And his quarterback had a couple nicks up his sleeve. That's right, Bo Nix. Progress slowly coming along there. Did nothing spectacular, but they still get the win. You know, I'm going to start calling the Saints the Yanks, man, because they ain't shit. Jacksonville rolled up into London for the second straight week in a row in a tank. Tank Bigsby, 120 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Brian Thomas also put some work in. Jacksonville Jesus, Trevor Lawrence in a bounce-back fashion. What's that saying? You need to stay up out the streets if you can't take the heat, because it gets cold like Minnesota. And man, was it frigid. Jared Goff, that's right, you ain't nothing but a show-off. And you keep showing it week after week. You know, Jared, just keep using them weapons, man. St. Brown and the gift that just keeps on giving. You got it, Jahmyr Gibbs. Looked like he was shot out of a cannon on some of them runs, man. That kid's lightning, electric. 100 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. As you can see, our defense and just our team as a whole missed Hutchinson deeply. But you know what? We're playing on a crutch, and we're going to do it for Hutch. And you know who else did it? Jake Bates. Go-ahead field goal. His time expired there for the Lions. You know what, man? Detroit puts a gritty into Minnesota's record. And I want to elaborate on something else too, Justin Jefferson. When Detroit gets iced up, we go to Jared. The Raiders put up a fight in Los Angeles. Wasn't good enough. Kyron Williams, 9 straight games with a touchdown. And he also passed the record, Eric Dickerson's record. Most touchdowns as a Rams through his 17 starts. Rams headbutt the Raiders. They're also getting star receiver Cooper Kupp back this week too, so that's pretty big. Buffalo curb stomps Tennessee. Josh Allen wasted no time getting with his newly acquired weapon, Amari Cooper, as he found the end zone, maybe with a little help from his buddy and his rookie, Keon Coleman. He also had 100 yards. First time this season he eclipsed the 100-yard mark. New duo emerging there in Buffalo. Green Bay puts Houston through a cheese grater. You got it. Packers shred Texans. Listen, they held C.J. Stroud to a career low in pass completions and yards. Houston, we have a problem. Saquon Barkley returns to MetLife, not as a Giant. He leaves, grows his wings, and comes back as an Eagle. 176 yards on the ground, almost set a career high in rushing. Guy's a class act. You know what? Sirianni came to him on the bench there in the fourth, said, hey, I want you to go get these 13 yards. He simply says, nah, let my young dogs eat. Saquon Barkley, nice homecoming there in MetLife. Seahawks with a case of walk in your trap and take over your trap. As it appears, they only needed to beat the Atlanta Falcons there with one arm. What can Brown do for you? Absolutely nothing. Jamar Chase and the Bengals walk all over Cleveland in Nick Chubb's return. Down goes Deshaun Watson. Listen, man, at this point, Watson, just, you know what, heal up, rest up, have one of your women rub out the kink for you, as if you ain't got 100 women already, all with fucking 80 open cases pending. Get well soon, Watson. AR5, Anthony Richardson, back under center for the Colts. Colts reel the Dolphins to shore 16-10. Tyreek Hill with a monster game. One catch, 8 yards. You know what? It's just safe to say that Ferrari had enough gas just to make a fucking U-turn. Commanders lead the Panthers to the gulag. Jaden Daniels went down there early with a rib injury. Don't worry, Washington. Your field general's gonna be okay. And so is his backup. Marcus Mariota came into the game, led the Commanders. They put a 40 strip up on the boys there in Carolina. They're gonna be in good hands. Washington, I like to see what you guys got in the coming years. Chiefs pocket their hush money. These motherfuckers. Even though they win, KC, you did nothing spectacular in this win. Other than that Mahomes run where he trucked that Frisco safety. What's his name? That Mustafa. Let's play a little game here. A little game of roll call. Kareem Hunt. Here. You got that right, bros. You had 2 touchdowns. McCole Hardman. Here. And it shows. You hit pay dirt once. Travis Kelce. Absent. God damn it. That's a given. You've been absent since the beginning of the fucking season. I mean, you know what? And the only reason why your play ain't coming into question is because you guys are winning. The moment you guys start dropping losses and losing here and there, your play's going to be starting to coming into question. And you know what else they're going to question? Are you washed? What's your answer? Brandon Ayuk suffered a season-ending ACL injury. You know, that's a shame because I like Ayuk, but I want to speak on something. You know, Ayuk, instead of you prancing around like a fucking diva in the offseason, maybe you should have been with your quarterback and receiving core, putting a little bit of sweat equity in the offseason, okay? Instead of whining about who's got the bigger bag. This guy's getting paid. This guy, well, me too. How about just play the game? Frisco offered you a deal. You pussyfooted around that deal. Whine like a baby back bitch just to come back and sign the deal that they gave you in the first fucking place. Like I said, get well soon, charge up, come back better next season. I want to shed some light on something else too. Ricky Pearsall suited up. First game he suited up for the Niners this season. That's right. He was the player that took that gunshot wound there in the offseason in Frisco. Ended up suiting up, playing, and he caught his first pass. Damn, man. I remember when I caught my first pass too, early in my career. Yeah, Pontiac Silverdome. That's right. Coach Chris and the Tiger Cats. We played the Red Barons. Brandon Jeanette was my quarterback. Damn. Shout out to them guys, man. Russell Wilson got his first start there for Pittsburgh, and there's a resurgence there in Pittsburgh. 260 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. And he's also got a weapon. That weapon, NFL. El Young Boy, and the menace, George Pickens. He had himself a good game too. Listen, he's going to start to emerge there in Pittsburgh as the number one receiver like he should have been from the get-go. With Russell Wilson, it's just a different dynamic to that offense in Pittsburgh. They actually push the ball down the field. And you know something else too? What's wrong with you, Devontae Adams? That's right, I'm calling you out, bruz. All night you look sour as shit, face longer than a fucking hallway, look like Arsenio Halls. What's your problem? You got your guy, best friend all over again. Start producing, dude. Your buddy looked like he was on the fucking dope all night. Boss, the plane. You damn right the plane comes crashing down. Steelers win. Baltimore at Tampa. Battle of my favorite two quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield. This was more an Action Jackson show and a King Henry show here. Rashad Bateman made a little cameo as well. Lamar Jackson goes off for 5 touchdowns passing. Baker put up a fight, but it wasn't good enough. Mike Evans went down early there, their number one receiver, with a hamstring. I also want to shed some light that he is the 11th player in NFL history to catch over 100 touchdowns. Chris Godwin also went down, their other receiver there, with a minute left in the fourth quarter, torn ACL. Ravens fly high over Tampa. You know what? It's going to be hard for Baker and the Bucs going forward. Cards escape a win, beating the Chargers with a game-winning field goal as time expired. Controversial helmet-to-helmet call is what set up that field goal. Kyler Murray runs for one and throws for one as Cards shocked the Chargers. And that's it for your Week 7 recap. Now we're going to get into the Week 7 Up and Smoke Players of the Week. And just because my guy threw for 5 touchdowns, I got 5 of them for you. And the first one, I got to do this. Yeah, that's right. Jared Goff. Jared Go-Off. And you ain't nothing but a show-off. And you show it every week, dude. 280 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. And that's big, man. When you don't turn the ball over, we got success. My next Up and Smoke Player of the Week, Saquon Barkley. Barkley had 176 yards on the ground and a touchdown in the Giants' homecoming. My next player, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson got his first start there in Pittsburgh, and he made the most of it. 260 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers in the Jets' debut. My next Up and Smoke. This is our guy and Jared Goff's buddy, Jake Bates. That's right, Jake Bates is our kicker. We basically brought him up from the UFL, Michigan Panthers. This guy was basically sitting on his couch. He was a brick salesman. We ended up bringing him up. He had success in the UFL. Made the kick of his life there Sunday as we put a blemish into the Vikings record there. Shout out Jake Bates. And my last player, Lamar Jackson, Action Jackson. 280 yards in the air, 5 touchdowns, 50 yards on the ground, no turnovers. And you know what, Lamar? That's my guy for the early MVP. Told you, look for Ravens and make a strong postseason push. Let's get into the Up and Smoke fantasy watchers. And you know what? With all them guys beat up in Frisco, all them guys injured, I look for this guy to really step up now. Ricky Pearsall. Ayuk out for the season. I like this guy to step in and fill in. It's time to show out now, Ricky. You also got Deebo Samuel, who was diagnosed with pneumonia. He's got fluid on his lungs. No timetable on when this cat will return. Somebody's got to get the ball in Frisco. My next Up and Smoke fantasy watcher, with no Jamison Williams now in Detroit, that's a crutch. We got to throw the ball to somebody else besides St. Brown and Sam Laporta. I like Tim Patrick, big body receiver there. We got him from Denver. He was vying for attention there for Denver's #1 receiver there, battling with Cortland Sutton. I thought they were going to be a decent duo. They just couldn't get it done. Patrick ends up getting hurt, tears his leg. We give this cat a chance. I like to see what he's got. He's going to have a lot of production and opportunity there for the Lions in their offense. My next watcher, Tank Bigsby. Listen, man, the 2 games that he won there in Jacksonville that the Jaguars won, he's had over 100 yards rushing. I mean, I'm not going to say he's running back 1, but where the fuck you at, Travis Etienne? He's looking like the running back 1. My last player, Brock Bowers. The Devontae Adams-less Raiders. No Devontae Adams there. Somebody's got to catch the pill. So far this season, man, he's been getting peppered with targets. He's had production. I like what Bowers has got going on. Similar tight end mold to George Kittle and Travis Kelce there. Last week in betting, I went 12 out of 15. That's my best week yet. We're going to get into the week 8 now. Quick hits. We got our Thursday game. We got the Vikings taking on the Rams. Sam Darnold just lost to Detroit. He's taking on the Rams. Rams are getting Cooper Kupp back. I'm going to say, you know what? Vikings take a second straight loss here. I like the Rams at home. Okay, on our Sunday slate of games, we don't have no early games. There's no NFL London or NFL Europe nonsense this week. But what we do have is the Eagles at the Bengals. Okay, 2 good teams here. I'm going to take the Eagles here. They just got their receiving core back, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. It's one of my favorite receivers. Bengals, Joe Burrow. He's putting up numbers there. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It'll be a shootout, but I'm going to take the Eagles. You got the Rams at the Browns. This is an AFC divisional battle. This game, even though you'll think the Ravens are going to go fly off the charts putting up points, it's going to be a gritty-ass game, and it's always tough when these teams end up facing off against each other. But I'm still going to take Lamar Jackson on the road. Like I said, he's been steamrolling all these teams. I look for him to do it right here. We got Tennessee at Detroit. My hometown Lions here at home. Nice win there in Minnesota. So now you got to gear up and play Tennessee. Don't just walk into the den and overlook Tennessee either, okay? I think Mason Rudolph starting. Regardless, it don't matter who's starting. All right? Jared Goff, I want you to keep rolling. Jahmyr Gibbs, use all your weapons. I'm going to take Detroit here. We're just a better all-around team. We got the Cardinals at the Dolphins. Cardinals snuck out with that win there last week. Dolphins still floating in the fucking ocean on a half a fin. But you know what's interesting? I hear we're going to get Tua Tagovailoa back. You know what? That guy's out of his fucking skull. You know, because if I was him, just hang it up, bros. At this point, it's almost sickening. I'm going to take the Cardinals here on the road. You know what? Kyler Murray, he's got it going on. We got the Jets at the Pats. Nothing to be said. New York. Falcons at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at home. They're all beat up. I like the Falcons here on the road. They just lost that game. Let's show a little bit better effort here this week. Kirk O'Chains, where you at? We got the Packers at the Jaguars. Jacksonville Jesus at home. I just like Jordan Love and what the Packers got going on. And I'm going to take the Packers there on the road. We got the Colts at the Texans. Listen, Houston, I think we're going to start having a fucking problem here if you don't get your shit in order. Still going to take you here at home. Colts ain't got enough. Saints at the Chargers. Listen, Harbaugh, if you don't win this game, you screwball. I'm going to take the Chargers there at home. Bills at the Seahawks. My guy Josh Allen, he's on the road. New weapon Amari Cooper, he's going to get used a lot. I'm going to take the Bills here on the road. Geno Smith, we know your MO. You'll probably throw for 350. Panthers at the Broncos. Bryce Young, I'm pretty sure now he's going to start there for the Panthers there. I'm still going to take the Broncos and Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. I think he's going to be pretty decent. Chiefs at the Raiders. Okay. Now I'm just going to tell you this. This ain't going to be just a fucking cakewalk like you think. We actually beat the Chiefs last year. All right. And Max Crosby's just got it out for Pat Mahomes. Ain't going to be no different here. Raiders at home. I'll probably take the Raiders to cover, but I'll take the Chiefs on the road there. Our next game, and this is going to be the game I want to see, if Jaden Daniels is playing, though. You got the Bears at Washington, like I said, 2 rookie quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, if Daniels plays. I think I'm still going to take the Bears there on the road. Caleb Williams, you got weapons. You're going to start to use them. Cowboys at the 49ers. Listen, Cowboys, they're beat up. Jerry Jones is making every excuse in the fucking... I don't want to hear it, Jerry. All right, you suck. And that's just that. 49ers, there ain't nothing but the San Francisco stretchers. Every fucking star player that they got's been on a stretcher thus far. I'll take Dallas there on the road. I think Jerry Jones, you know what, he can finally calm down so he don't have a fucking heart attack. In our Monday game, you got the Giants at the Steelers. Ugh. I think I'm going to take the Steelers here. Russell Wilson, let's keep that momentum rolling forward. Malik Neighbors, I think you'll have a good game though regardless. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to take Steelers at home. As I put the blunt out here, I think that's enough smoke for today. Brick by brick is what we're striving for and what we're building here. And none of this happens without you guys. I appreciate all the love and support you guys show me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Lions, one pride in the comments like you've always done. And don't forget to hit that bell notification, man. So you can always, be the first to watch my videos. Or you'll probably silently watch the videos. But regardless, you still want to see what the fuck I got going on anyway. So I thank you for that, and I appreciate that. You know what that is, and you know what this is. Up in smoke. Pussy. Peace.